Hi there and welcome back to Pierpoint. So what we're going to do now is we're going to rub this blank down just using a bit of wet and dry. So this particular one is a 400, and then all we do is we just apply that starting at the tip section and just working our way down, and then it just takes off all those last little bits of varnish and little sticky up type things that are on the rod. Okay, so just work your way down. And you can alternate between a 400 and I've got a 600 on the bench as well. Okay, so you don't want to scratch the life out of it, but it's just a very gentle surface rub. You can probably see there's a few indentations there. You don't want to be taking it back past what I call the carbon weave, but you'll find that you're just taking off a little bit of grey. So you just want to be careful that you're just giving it a general sort of scratch coat. Okay, so all you need for this is your wet and dry paper, different grades, and you need your Meths to clean up afterwards and the cloth. Okay, so we're just going to work our way down. Just doing that. Quite easy to do. Apologies if there's a little bit of camera shake there because I'm on the workbench doing this, so you might just get a bit of shake. Okay, as you can see there's a bit of grey coming out on my wet and dry paper there, so that's just the carbon from the rod. So I'll just say be very, very careful doing this. Okay, and once that's prepped we can clean that up using the Meths. Okay, that just makes it nice and smooth and just getting that ready for that Bondaseal coat that's going to go on next. Okay, so we take that all the way down to the decal. So when we come to the decal, okay, which is just about here. Okay, so what I'm going to do with that, just do something slightly different. Just go to a different grade of paper. So this is a 1200. So when I come to my decal, I'm just going to give a very light scratch coat over the top of that, and then you'll see that it starts to fade a little bit. Okay, so we don't panic when we get to this stage. It does look awful. It looks like you're doing a lot of damage, but I know that there's a coating of varnish already on there, so I can afford to just smooth that down a little bit, just take out any finger marks or scratches that's on there already. And you have to apply this scratch coat because the Bondaseal won't adhere to it. So you can see where I've taken that off, it's white, not grey, because you're taking off the varnish coat or the high build finish that's on there. Okay, so when you come to these areas, a 1200 grade is fine. And there's the original decal there, which is the Carol McManus Limited. It has got a coat of something over the top, so it's only a couple of microns thick, so you want to be careful that you don't go down, you know, too far too deep on this, because then you'll be down to the decal itself. Okay, but there's a bit of wiggle room in there for you to do that. I say it looks awful because it just looks all scratched up, but I'll show you what the finished product looks like once we've got the Bondaseal coat on that. And we obviously need to clean that up with Meths as well, so just continue doing that across the blank. Let's go back to my 400 paper and then just finish this section off just below the decal, making sure it's all nice and smooth. Get rid of all those imperfections rather. Okay, now just working on the back side of where the decal is there. Okay, as simple as that. Okay, you're not rubbing the life out of it. You've got to be careful that you don't go down into the actual carbon weave itself. Okay, so that's all you do for that. Okay, just doing a little bit. Again, you can see that the wet and dry paper is carbon impregnated. Okay, so you're just smoothing that off and smoothing that down. Okay, so we're just about there now. Okay, so all you need to do then is just take your cloth, and this is a particular, they call it a microfiber cloth, and just take off all the excess dust, and the microfiber cloth will pick up all that dust off there. It sticks like the proverbial to a blanket. You get these cloths off eBay, you get them in packets. Okay, they're quite cheap. Okay, so that's all we do, is just wipe that clean to get the main dusty bits off all the way down. Okay, and then the final preparation bit is with the Meths. Okay. Okay, so now we're just going to do the cleanup phase. So get your cloth, and I use this microfiber cloth, available plenty on eBay, and then just give that a wipe just to get all the dust off, all the way down the rod to the bottom, over the decal and down to that EVA grip. Okay, so give it a good old wipe. Okay, and then you'll notice that you'll get quite a lot of dirt and grime that comes off the rod. Okay, to be expected. And then just take a corner of your cloth and just, you want a dab of methylated spirit there, put the top back on, and then just start at the top and then just work your way down the rod, just giving that a clean. Okay, and then you'll see that that's already starting to pick up the remaining dirt on that. Okay, a nice clean, and that will give it a nice coat, or a nice clean rather, ready for the Bondaseal coat. And then when you get to the decal, just go over that very lightly. Okay, you don't want to be putting too much Meths on there because it can interfere with the inks or the decal, so it's a very light rub over the top of that. And this is what happens, is you get quite a bit of grime coming off that rod. So that's the cleanup phase in preparation for putting your Bondaseal on. Okay, just giving that decal just a bit more of a polish. Okay, and that's it. So there's your blank, now ready and prepped to receive the Bondaseal coat. Okay, so we've cleaned that all the way down from the tip to the butt section. So I'll get that prepared now. Just to recap, just use these different grades of paper, so a 400 or a 600 just to give it a scratch coat, just to clean it up a bit, and then maybe a 1200 if you're doing the decals. Okay, thanks for watching, and catch up in a bit.